Hello there, and I do hope everyone is keeping well. In today's short video, I just wanted to walk through how I organise my units and regiments when I'm playing epic scale American Civil War, which is the system by Warlord Games using the black powder rules. It's a smaller scale, just below 15mm. It's their own kind of scale, and I'm used to playing in 28mm. So there are some nuances to how you set your units up and your formations compared to what's in the main rulebook, and Warlord do suggest some options within the supplement you get with this set. But what I would say, black powder is a very flexible system, which is why I like it. So really, whatever works for you and your setup, you can make something work, and this is just how I do it. So first off, in front of you is a standard or regular sized Confederate regiment. Now in the book that you get with this system, Warlord suggests that for a standard regiment, you use 5 bases like that. Now, that's fine, but there's a number of reasons why I don't do that, and I use 3. So, first reason, this is the 32nd Regiment of Foot, the Cornwall regiment that I play for when I'm playing Napoleonics at 28mm. This is a pretty standard size battalion regiment in black powder 28mm. And as you can see, the epic scale with 5 bases has actually got a wider frontage, and that's one of the issues I have with that, because my setup and when I play at the club, we've pretty much got 6x4 tables. So when you're playing 28mm, you're pretty restricted to sort of multiple brigade kind of actions. And I wanted to play epic scale at larger divisional scale, perhaps even corps level. So that's too wide. So I'll take these away. So I reduced it down to 3 stands for a standard regiment. There's another couple of reasons why that works for me. Second reason being painting. That is, I know they're only little soldiers, but they are 100. So that's a lot of painting. So if you take 2 away, that's slightly less painting. And when you're painting multiple regiments, and I think I'm up to 15, 16 regiments now, it's a lot of painting. So just having those less 2 stands just speeds things up really. But one of the main reasons as well is, and also I talked about size on the table, it obviously helps to maximise the space I've got. But also the main statistics in black powder for regiments are hand-to-hand shooting, morale and stamina. And the 2 I'm focused on most are shooting and stamina, particularly in this type of game. Now 3 bases for a standard regiment. A standard regiment has 3 shooting dice. So for me, that's quite simple then, because you've got 1 per stand. And also they have a stamina of 3. So again, from when I'm working out casualties and whether that unit's shaken, it's quite easy to work out, that unit's stamina level, because it's 3. So 3 and 3. So I find that really simple. When you've got multiple regiments on the table as well, at a glance, I can tell it's a standard regiment, 3 dice, 3 dice. If we then have a small unit, basically you just take one of these away. So small units are just 2 stands, and again a small unit has 2 shooting dice and 2 stamina. So again, it's very simple to remember that. And tiny units, although I don't really use a lot of tiny units are 1 stand, and they have 1 shooting dice and 1 stamina. So I think it's quite a simple way of remembering how that all works. You can have large units as well, which is 4 stands, is what I use. I think in the book it's got 7 stands, which would be like over here somewhere. So I use 4. Again, I don't use a huge amount of large units, but again, they have 4 shooting dice and a stamina of 4. So again, quite simple to work out how that works. Okay, so that's how I organise that. So I'll quickly just then talk through the various formations. Now the formations in black powder, you've got several that you use. I find that really there's the 3 main ones for this system are line. So we've got the line there. You've got march, which basically I just push them into 3 stands like that. And you've also got an attack or assault column. Now for that one, I just basically use 2 stands at the back, and I put the kind of leader stand with the flags at the front to represent them charging in. Now, to be fair, I think in black powder you do get some bonuses for this, for both command and for your morale. However, you don't get that in American Civil War. So really, It's just there to help manoeuvrability. If you're a bit tight on space, you can move into that column, into that assault attack column, but you don't really get any benefits from it from a game perspective. And also you do reduce your shooting down to just 1 dice as well. So really you want to be using that just for manoeuvrability. You do get command bonuses for using march as usual, so you get command bonuses for units in march column, but obviously march column they're quite vulnerable to shooting and other things. So so really I'm using march and line for the majority of battles, but can use assault if you're a bit tight on space. And the idea about that is it is obviously a narrower frontage than your line, but a slightly wider frontage than your march, so you've got some variability. So how do those work for other size units? So if I've got a small unit of 2, quite simply easy, so march column is obviously just like that. And for assault column, I'm not that bothered because, as I said, there's no real bonuses, and it's the same, if I show you what I did before, it's the same frontage as that. So a small unit could be line or assault. I mean, I don't really differentiate, I just call it a line because you're not really getting any bonuses anyway from being an assault column, so you might as well just use it that way. And for tiny regiments, they're hard work at this level because you've only got 1 stand. Obviously that's line, but that's also march and assault. Again, I don't really bother with assault because there's no benefits to it. But if I want to put them in march, and that's purely around the commander, if the commander wants to give them an order, you get some bonuses for being in march column. I just add a red dice just so they know, I know they're in march. And that's basically around the fact that march column can't shoot. So it's just a reminder they're in march column. But again, I don't use a lot of tiny units, so it's not really something I'm that worried about, to be honest. And then for large units, quite simply, you've got your line, you've got your assault or attack column, and you've got your march column. So quite straightforward, really. Okay, so that's how I organise the formations. Skirmishers, push this back a little bit. So skirmishers, again, operate pretty much within the same rules you've got within the black powder rules. So this is a standard or regular size regiment of skirmishers. In the black powder, you tend to have smaller bases, and you have them spaced out. So you can move them kind of a couple of centimetres apart if you want. And the good thing about skirmishers are you can manoeuvre these around any kind of formation, really. I mean, they're already in loose formation, as you can see. As long as you keep within a couple of centimetres of the other, you can actually take advantage of that for protecting units, because you've got a skirmish screen, and also you can shoot from any base because, and you can split your fire with skirmishers. So it's quite a good way of tactically using these to be a bit awkward and protect and screen certain units as well. So that's skirmishers. And again, so regular unit, small unit, tiny unit. So again, very straightforward, and they've got the same rules really for that. Just put those behind there. And the last one I want to talk about is cavalry. So it talks about in American Civil War that cavalry very rarely set up in line. So I use 3 bases again for cavalry, and also I only use 4 models on a base. I think they suggest 5 in the information you get. I just use 4, means I can maximise my units. And again, so they tended to be more of an attack assault column. They only get 1 dice for shooting anyway when they're mounted, and I think that looks quite nice with the commander and the bugler at front, and the ranks like that. And again, for a medium unit, sorry, a small, keep calling it a medium, small unit, I would just have 2 bases, just like that, and then obviously tiny would be just that. And there's not really march columns; they're just kind of in those formations there, and that works pretty well for cavalry. Like that. Okay, so that was a quick run through of units and formations. I hope you find that useful. I've got there is a battle report up on the channel if you've not seen it. I have had some really nice comments on it, and that's why I've put this video out really, because there was a few people saying I'm new to the game, just setting up, so I thought this was quite a useful way of explaining how I set things up. I've got another battle report on the way, so that should be on the channel in another week or so. But in the meantime, any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section, and thanks for watching.